Hello everyone, welcome back to Crafts by the Bow. This week I've been making my cards ready to take back to England because I'm going back to England for a couple of weeks just to visit family, and I like to take all my birthday cards and anniversary cards for the next few months, and that way I know they're already in England. I don't have to worry about Canada Post not getting them there or anything. And I saw a card that I really fell in love with. It was a card made by Ronda Wade. I've got the details here. I belong to a Facebook group with Ronda Wade, who's one of the demonstrators for Stampin' Up! And lives in the States. And she made a kind of a card that has an accordion in the middle. And it was so easy to put together that I thought I would show you how to make it too. Now, the first time I made it, I made this card, which was a Valentine's card for my husband. And on the outside, it looks like a typical normal card, but on the inside it has a little accordion. And it's only made out of the DSP paper. And you just pop little pieces on that accordion piece, and the center white piece isn't glued down all the way. So that means that it opens nicely. And you get like a little chevron here at the top, but it opens so nicely, and it really is an easy card to make. So while I've been thinking about making my cards to take back to England, I thought I would show you how to make this with one of the cards that I need, which is a birthday card for a little boy. So these are the dimensions of all the card and everything that you need, and I leave this just at the side of the paper here so that you can see what I'm using. And I'm not doing very much stamping. There's one stamp and that's all. And the rest I'm using DSP. So here's my piece of Granny Apple Green, which is 5.5 by 8.5. I've scored it at 4 1/4. Oops. And folded in half. And then I have my white piece that's going in the center, and this is 5 1/4 by 8, and I'm folding it in half. I didn't score it because I just wanted to be able to fold it in half, make sure that the edges were together. You can go down here with your bone folder, but I didn't really need to. And then we're going to attach it to the inside, and you can see that it's smaller than the outside card, but you don't adhere it straight into the center. What you do is you put glue down this side and attach it to the left-hand side of the card, put glue on the right-hand side, attach it to the right-hand side, so that when you have it there, you see it isn't the same center fold. It just has a little bit of a pop-up effect. So let's get that glued down. And as I say, you only glue down the very edges. I'm going to put adhesive down both sides, and just be careful not to catch this piece on the card. So I'm just lining it up so that there's a small border on the left-hand side, the same as the border top and bottom. Okay, so you can see it's only attached at that one side. And then I turn it round and I'm holding the back of the card and just pulling the white card up to where I need it to match. Okay, and that's it. And you can see it's only glued at the very edges. And that is important because that gives it that little pop-up feature that you need. Okay, let's do the front of the card before we do the accordion inside. So for the front here, we've already got the Granny Apple Green. Next, you're going to need a white piece of card, and that's cut at 5 1/4 by 8. So it just, nope, that isn't, I beg your pardon. That is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. The 5 1/4 by 8 is inside. So this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I'm just going to attach that. And use whatever adhesive works for you. And close it up, and then you should have a nice little border all the way around. There we And then you need a piece of DSP for the front. And this is the DSP I want to use. It's the Animal Expedition paper. I don't have the stamps that go with it. All I have is the paper. But what I do have as well is January's paper pumpkin. And this paper pumpkin was made to match this paper. So when you look inside, it made little like little pockets for Valentine's Day, and I didn't get round to making those. But it also had these pieces of card with cutouts of some of the animals that are in the DSP. So I decided that I was going to use the little chameleons from this. And let me just find them. So here are the two little chameleons just popped out from the paper pumpkin. If you don't have paper pumpkin, it doesn't matter. These chameleons can be found on the paper too. So what I've used for this is the one with the little frogs and just the lime green or granny apple green chevron pattern on the back. Okay, so let's glue that one on. I have used one stamp for a sentiment, and I've used the one from Paper Pumpkin, but you can use any stamp you want. Anything you've got that you think is going to give you the sentiment that you need. Okay, so there's my paper on there. And then I've got my little chameleons. And the sentiment I used, let me find the stamp set that's got run away now. Don't know where the stamp set disappeared to, but I chose the one that said you're one in a chameleon. Let me just, oops, drop in that here. I wonder if I put them back in this box. No, no, but it's okay because I've already stamped it. I stamped it on a piece of Whisper White card where I'd put you need scraps for embellishment. I'd stamped it on and I've cut it out with one of my ovals. And then I'm going to put the two little chameleons just at the bottom here. I'm just going to add a little bit of wet glue for these, because there's a couple of sort of little fiddly bits on them. Come on, glue. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. It's too cold. No, it doesn't want to come out. Might be empty. So I will use the fast fuse, and I'll just put tiny bits on. You could use glue dots on these little edge pieces as well. There we are. And I'm just going to put it at the bottom of the oval, just like this. Okay. And then this is going to go on the front of your card. And I want to put it at the bottom, really, because I want to see those two cute little frogs here. And what I've done with my scalloped ovals is I've cut one out in the lemon lime twist, and I've cut one out in the glitter paper that we had from last year, when it was the dragon set with Merlin and the Little Mermaid and things. And I think it's Old Olive, but actually it's such a good match for these greens that I didn't think it would really matter. I just didn't know which one I wanted to have. I didn't know if I wanted the sparkly, which is quite sweet, or if I just wanted the plain green. Let's see. Oh, I think I like the sparkly, and it's for a little boy, and you can't really do bows and, you know, shiny bits for boys, but they don't mind a little bit of glitter. So I'm going to put fast fuse on here and hope that it sticks to my glitter. If not, I'll put dimensionals on it instead. Because sometimes the glitter doesn't like being glued onto card. Oh, but that looks like it's okay. I'm going to put a few dimensionals on the back, just to raise it up a little bit. Like that. Take the backing off. And it was such a quick card to make. It always takes me longer to cut bits out than it does to make the card. Okay, so I'm putting it there near the bottom. Just make sure it's in the middle and where I want it. And you could put your sentiment anywhere. It's just that I wanted to see those two little frogs here. But you can see on the Valentine's card that I made, I put it right in the middle. So anywhere you like. Okay, so that's that piece. Let's put this out of the way and this. Right, now we're ready to do the inside. So for the inside piece, you need a piece of DSP and it's going to be cut at 2 by 8.5. And that's this piece. Oh, I found my stamp set. Here was the stamp set, look. I knew it must be around somewhere. Let's take this off, put it back in here. But you really don't need to have this stamp set. If you want that saying, you're wanting a chameleon and you don't have the stamp set, use something like the Make a Difference or the Labeler set where you can do each individual letter and write whatever you want. I love these two little birds on here as well. And this extra little chameleon. But anyway, let's go back to the middle. So I've cut another piece. It's the same as the front, but I don't want to have the leaves. I want to have this side showing. So what I'm going to do is fold it in half, and I want to be able to see the side that's going to be showing inside the card. That needs to be on the top. And then we're just going to fold these two back. And that one, and then the one at the other side. And it'll make like a little W or an M, whichever way you hold it. And this is the piece we'll see. And I'm going to attach glue just to this side and this side, not the piece in the middle. So glue on the back, just those two sides. Let's put some glue on. Now, this pattern, it doesn't matter if it's upside down or not, so if you've got a pattern that runs one particular way, just be a bit more careful when you're putting it on the inside. And to line it up, what I did was, I know this is the sticky side, and I just opened it a little bit and just put it whereabouts on the card I thought I wanted it. I didn't want it dead in the middle because I wanted to have a little space for writing. So that's that. And to make it easy, to make sure I've got the same on the other side, I just popped my glue on, just held that with my finger while I closed the card up. And then you know you've got it in exactly the right place. And when it opens, there's your little accordion. And to go inside here, on the Valentine's one, you can see I put hearts and things. But for this one, I cut some animals out of the paper. And I chose the one piece of paper that had the most animals on. And I cut one of the rhino, one of the kangaroos, one of the giraffes, and one of the sloths. And that was all. You just need 4 pictures, or you could do 2 pictures and a sentiment. You don't have to fill every space. But I'm going to pop these on. So I'm going to have the little rhino, popping some glue on. Oops. And I'm going to put him just at this edge here. If your pictures are wider than this or taller than this, just cut this little piece of paper a bit wider. Instead of cutting it at 2, cut it at 2.5. Doesn't matter. It's one of those cards that's very forgiving, and you just put on the size that you need. Okay, let's put this little giraffe on. Take that sticky off so my card doesn't stick to it. Okay, and I'm going to put this just over this one. Just checking that it still closes fine. Okay, just got a little bit of glue on the back of the giraffe's head that I don't need, so I'm just rubbing it off with my thumb. That's it. Okay, and then I've got the little sloth. Let's pop some adhesive on him. hang him upside down. Like this. And then last of all, I've got the little kangaroo with a koala in her pocket. Not a joey, but a koala. There we go. Yeah. So here's my card, all finished. My one in a chameleon with my little chameleons on the front and my little frogs looking on. And then inside, I've got all my pictures. And then on the bottom here is where I'd write my sentiment. What you could do is stamp your sentiment here that said happy birthday, but I just want to use mine for writing. So there's the accordion card that Ronda Wade made and showed us all how to make. Thank you very much indeed, Ronda, for your inspiration. I'm loving this card. I'm loving the style of the card. So there are my two that I made. My Valentine's card and my chameleon card. So I hope you enjoyed watching that and that you'll join me again soon. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, just have a look at the bottom of the screen and there'll be a little subscribe button and a bell. And if you press the bell, then it will contact you and let you know every time I put a video on. And I tend to put 2 on a week, usually on a Wednesday and a Sunday. But some days or some weeks it doesn't work for those days. So if I've put it on a different day and you're not expecting it and you don't look for it, then you won't know that I've put something on. So just check that little bell and then you'll know exactly when I put something on. Thanks so much everybody for watching. I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.